Um, there's just been so much talk, so many comments, so many complaints about the downtown corridor, if you will, and we're going to define the downtown corridor as Mesquite Boulevard, Sand Hill Boulevard, that area right there. About improving the appearance of that area, removing some of the blight, using the redevelopment agency money for what it was originally intended for.
Yes.
So how about giving us some of your thoughts about that whole
Absolutely.
issue? Because I'll tell you, it's a very explosive issue.
Oh, it certainly is.
You know, people are really upset. I think when I went to the city manager's lunch at the senior center 2 weeks ago, that question was asked. It was discussed. I think Aaron Baker did a good job of saying there's only so much we can do. But, you know, a lot of people are calling for the city to put a lot more pressure on the private business owners. And yet at the same time, there's only so much you can do because it is private business. So, you know, so what are you going to do?
I think in this instance, probably the carrot is going to work better than the stick.
Okay.
We've tried regulating this. We've had downtown corridor studies. We went forward with when we did the RDA. And the city came out and said, okay, you can be in this area or not. Some people chose, some people didn't. I personally thought that was a bad move. It should have just been, you're now in the RDA. Some people that are outside of the RDA now wish they were in the RDA. I think we also did a study, about 2 years ago? I'm thinking maybe a little bit longer, maybe 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
The downtown study that they brought in the professionals and had spent about $250,000 on a plan that would basically just add another level of regulation, in my opinion, to the land that's already here.
Okay.
I disagree with doing that. I mean, I see the results every day as I drive down and walk the boulevard almost every day of regulation. We have grandfathered in buildings that are not going to change because it costs more money. So they're going to leave that alone unless somebody buys it, then they can come in and change it.
Right.
If we had another layer of regulation, which was the last study that they did, you would have priced most people out of it. More people are not going to come. If it's more expensive to develop a building downtown, they're not going to come here. They're going to go to the outsides where it's less expensive. One of the big questions we had about the last study, and I know that you have a couple of columnists that have discussed this in length and in detail.
And good on them.
But and absolutely, I'm glad that's still out there and it needs to be. But one of the things that really bothered us about that study, and that's what started the Mesquite Community Development Corporation. I received phone calls from Lex Hall. We got together, we talked to a bunch of people, started holding meetings, and really looked into that plan. Eventually, the plan called for 90% of the buildings that exist in Mesquite, that area, Sand Hill, Mesquite Boulevard, to be removed. They would have to be.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
you know, you would have to build your building a certain way. You would have to change how the water drained because now your buildings would all be brought up to the front of the street. Parking would be in the back. Now you're changing all your drainage patterns. No one ever put together a study to tell us what's the difference if we keep it the same in the cost of a building. If we build right now a building as opposed to building it with the newer regulations that some people wanted. They never had an answer for that.
Interesting.
We had a lot of questions about it. Am I concerned about how downtown. How
It's a convenient moniker.
Yeah, I guess so. How that looks, you bet I am. We've had RDA funds available for years. I hesitate to give a number, but I'm going to throw one out there, and if I'm wrong, Aaron Baker will let me know. But I believe possibly we've had less than 10 people actually come in and apply for the RDA funding.
Right.
You know, not a whole
we
lot of funding
Yeah.
being applied for. Now, maybe a couple of reasons for that. Is the city putting it out there? Do we have any knowledge of these programs?
No, but
that's
the
being
Mesquite
shared?
Citizen Journal is putting it out
Yeah,
there.
I know, and I appreciate you doing that a lot. And we're going to use that avenue a lot because I've been speaking with Mr. Baker about how we're going to use the funds that are available to us in the
Because we
RDA.
have 2.5 million left.
Yes, we have 2.5 million left, but we also have tax increment coming back that we can use
Yes,
for
that's
grants
true.
along the downtown area.
Right.
Why don't we get that out there?
Right.
We're going to.
Okay. I'm going to hold you to that too.
Please do. You know me.
Okay.
I think we really need to get that information out there and hold a couple of town halls with people that are affected by that 75-25 splits, just to let them know how that works. I would love to see the buildings all get new facades out here. I would love to see paint put on buildings that isn't unbelievably wrong color.
Well, I think
for
it's
the area,
important.
for everything that people want
Mhm.
to see in an area. It certainly would look better to have some paint on some buildings here.
Yes.
We need to figure out ways to have other buildings removed. I'm not going to go eminent domain. I think that's wrong. Taking somebody's land is not something that I will do.
Mhm.
I won't support it.
Well,
So-
I like your idea of reaching out, because I think one of the biggest problems with this whole redevelopment program for these small grants is that the city has traditionally and historically sat back and waited for people to come to them instead of them reaching out. And I think it is, at this point, I think maybe we ought to change that direction and start reaching
Oh, I
out to
agree.
these business owners and I mean significantly
Mhm.
reaching out to these business owners instead of waiting for them to come to us. Or
Absolutely.
you, not me, you.
Well, I get to sign off now on, I think, 50,000.
50,000.
Which is a lot. It certainly, I believe it was you came up to me and said, well, you can sign off on
It was me.
$99,000, and
Yes,
I
it
think my
was me.
quote back was, I might have the right to do it, but it's not the right thing.
Yes, yes, we had that conversation.
So, I'm a little bit more comfortable with 50,000. I wouldn't have minded being lower either. But that's what council decided, so we'll move forward on that, and I fully intend to make sure that information gets out, whether we direct mail all the businesses that are in the area, whether it's through press releases to the newspapers, whatever it is, we need to get the information out there and hold a couple of workshops on how it works,
Mm-hmm.
give them a deadline, show them what they need to do, and then
Mhm.
let's move forward.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think open, transparent, and I don't think it was because of any conspiracy or anything of that nature. I just think it's just how it was done,
Mhm.
and we have to change how it was done.
I agree, and I'm gonna follow up on that in the next few months.
Please do.
Yes, indeed, and
You
don't
promise
worry
it.
about.
I know you always do. So
Don't worry about signing off on $50,000, maximum $50,000, because we'll check up on you on that
all
too.
right.
So.
Well, I appreciate that.
But I do think that that has become, and perhaps Mesquite Citizen Journal is responsible for that, but I think it has become a hot button issue lately.
It is a hot
With
fashion issue. Easy
I think
for
it's
you to
always been an issue, but I think it's becoming even more
We need to
in the limelight lately.
We need to reinvest in the businesses that are here.
Yes.
Okay? They've taken a chance. They've been here. They've paid taxes. I understand people wanting to bring new business in. But right now, a lot of business isn't moving. They're staying where they're at.
That's right.
How do we keep the businesses here and keep them healthy? That's a question business owners have to answer. Obviously, we need to make some changes in how we do business. We don't, you know, you have a columnist who would say that it's completely wrong to do anything for a business.
Mm-hmm.
City government should stay completely out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Just get out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
I have another one who's totally opposite.
Totally opposite of that.
And that's what I love about my columnist.
It's rather fun to read.
It is very fun to read.
But we'll find a way to make sure we beautify the city of Mesquite, to use those funds. Personally, my thought right now is the downtown corridor. We've spent, what, $8, $10, $12 million now in RDA funds, and the downtown corridor hasn't changed a bit.
Well, because most of that money was used outside of that
I can't
corridor.
say a bit, because if you look at the general store,
The general store is a beautiful
is a shining example of
Yes.
what RDA funds can do.
Yes.
And that, it's just an amazing process, and the things that they were able to accomplish. And, you know, working through the bureaucracy, hopefully we'll cut a lot of the bureaucracy out of the way and just get it done.
Yes.
So, I'll say it here now, please come forward. If you have something you want to do with your building in the downtown corridor, Sand Hill, Mesquite Boulevard, wherever that particular is delineated, come talk. Go talk to Aaron Baker. Let's get moving with this.
Okay, we're going to hold you to that.